Like I see roofing businesses on social media, they brag about doing 100 jobs per month, exactly the way you just mentioned, that every single guy is bringing one roof, and they do 100 roofs a month, even more than that, and 50 roofs a month. They brag about that, but they do not care about their people. And my original question about how to build a roofing business culture was different, but now I'm rephrasing that. Uh, a lot of times when we ask someone about how to build the culture for a company, they tell you about the mindset, they tell you about the vision, they tell you about the mission, they tell you about alignment. And every time it is my company and you have to align with this vision. But rarely do we see someone who talks about that, I am building this thing for my people. And that is one of the reasons I feel that people are not dedicated to the culture of your roofing company, no matter how good that sounds on paper. So, how can someone create a culture for their roofing business, and how they can ensure that people are dedicated towards that culture?
I guess with everything you said, I guess it comes down to this. It's not, hey guys, how can you show up for me today? It's, hey guys, how can I show up for you today? I mean, it's that simple, right? Like we all have our job to do and we're all creating a mission, but whenever, even when people identify me as their boss, I'm like, I don't like that. I like that we work together with each other, side by side, not me as your boss, but, and I hope everybody feels that they're treated respectfully and kindly by me. And sometimes I have to make authoritative decisions or direct decisions. And that's just because I've got the experience most of the time. They come for me with a problem and I have a direct solution because I've got the experience. But otherwise, you know, they want to, nobody wants to feel like they're under anybody. They want to feel like we are all a team in this together. And so I think it really just comes down to that. And yeah, did it start with my vision? Yes. Does somebody need to be the one that takes the front? But really, it's like, how do we round that out? It shouldn't be a line in my eyes. It should be a round table, a circle. And that's what I've always worked on and tried to create here. And obviously there's always going to be some wrinkles in that, but yeah, how can I show up for you today?
Okay. And what are the wrinkles that you face during the process, and how do you
People.
fix them? Yeah.
It's always, you get the high performing guys, right? That have you ever
Yeah.
seen that where it's like there's high performing, low trust,
Yes.
high trust, mid performing. You rather have, the high trust. And it's like a lot of times it's just getting that scale to be where you need it to be. And, when you get, like I said, too many of the high performers up here, it can get a little catty sometimes. It's really ironing out some of that. A lot of, finger pointing, stupid things like where are all the leads going, and people getting concerned, like one person's getting all the leads. So then you get all the phone recordings and you record every single phone call and you identify where all the leads are, just taking these extra and necessary and precautious steps to debunk certain ideas. And for me, a lot of the recalls come from perception, not reality, right? So a sales guy's like, oh, he's getting, or he's doing, or, and a lot of that being, and it's like, you guys aren't looking at this from, you're looking at it more from an insecurity than a fact-based place, right? So you're assuming, or you're perceiving that something is happening. Whereas as the parent, you're like, no, that's not the case. Why does he get all the da-da-da? And you're like, no, it's fair between your brother and sister. You just feel that way because you didn't, whatever. And so it's like little kids quarreling over who gets the toy, when it's like, guys, you both have toys. It's all even. It's all fair. It's teaching everybody to share and be kind on a grown-up sense. And so those are usually the wrinkles that you have to iron out. And so sometimes it has to do with really just one-on-one, two grown-ups maybe working it out themselves, sitting down with somebody, letting them vent their frustrations, and then maybe validating them and letting them just get it off their chest. Some of it might even have to come to actually identifying whatever their concern is and be able to provide the actual facts. So for instance, I record every phone call that comes into this office. A few people concerned what leads are going out. So I have a non-biased party come in. We listen to the last 200 recordings, write down where the leads went, making sure all the right questions are being asked. Everything's debunked. Now, some people, like these high anxious people, no matter what you do, sometimes you're just going to have to let them iron out their own head. The wrinkles are in their head, and sometimes you have to give them space and time to iron it out themselves. So there's a list of things that can happen with that.